and welcome. You're watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. Hope all of our viewers, those who are celebrating, had a wonderful Eid. The big story, which is from Andhra Pradesh today, is there a stealthy attempt to try and auction off land belonging to the Tirupati temple by the Tirumala Devasthanam. Not only is there widespread protests among devotees against the move by the board, but now the opposition parties in Andhra have also jumped in, alleging that the board's move is actually not just backed but also prompted by the Jagan Reddy government. The attack is directed straight at the YSRCP, which the BJP says has for long been antagonistic to temples and in particular the Hindu faith. However, the government on its part insists that first of all, this is an unfair and unnecessary allegation where the YSRCP is being dragged into controversy for no fault of its own. Moreover, they point out that this auction of land has gone on for several years. In fact, there is record of how the land auctions have happened as long back as the 1970s. Further, they say that this decision, the present decision to auction 50 properties, was not that of the YSRCP at all. It was first formulated under the TDP government. All that the present board has done is merely operationalize it. So is this merely an administrative detail, or is this, as the BJP, opposition parties and several devotees of Tirupati claim, a betrayal and a targeting of one faith?
Temples are being targeted. We demand the government to stop this process of selling lands belonging to TTD because these lands are donated by the devotees.
These people are telling that the board is unable to maintaining those properties. If they are such incapable person, why should they continue as the TTD board members?
Will the land of church be taken with such insensitivity for any purpose? So why disrespect and why show double standards to Hindu community? Are we children of some lesser god?
NewsHour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining us on the Newshour Agenda, we have Mr. Ramakrishna Raju, who's a member of parliament of the YSRCP, the party which is in government in Andhra Pradesh, and Mohandas, chairman of the Manipal Global Education, and somebody who's been a signatory to the petition which has been circulated asking for a stop to this auction. Mr. Pai, I want to start by asking you, because the government is saying very clearly, and so is the board, that this has happened for decades now. Why rake up a controversy at this point in 2020?
This controversy is a result of the lack of trust by the large parts of the Hindu community in this government. There have been large-scale conversions going on in the state of Andhra Pradesh. If you go to Andhra Pradesh, you can see that there have been abuse of Hindus and Hindu religion by many of these pastors. Their election manifesto contains many benefits. After they come to power, they release many benefits. Anybody can become a pastor. Anybody can start a church. Evangelical groups in the US and Europe are pouring in money, doing church planting. Just the other day on the internet, we saw a temple taken over by these evangelicals where they put up the cross and the entire village has been converted. People go abroad, do jatas all over, they abuse Hindu gods. There have been resistance. And, this is a gross abuse of state power.
So you're basically saying this is not just an administrative matter, it is a religious-based communal issue.
Let me finish. Not a communal issue, it's a religious issue. Just the other day, a policeman was seen preaching to migrants. A policeman, he has been suspended by the government because there have been many things. And even the appointments to the TDD board ran into controversy, even though the current chairman who's related to the ruling family says he's a Hindu. So there is a deep distrust because of this government's connection to the pastor community. And
the reason why I interrupted you, Mr. Pai, is because Mr. Raju is smiling. When you say it's a religious issue...
Raju will smile because he knows all about this. On the face of it, this selling of temple land looks very innocuous. It's been done in the past, it is true. The land is all over the place, it's true. It is also true that it could be very expensive to maintain. They could lose it. They could be right. But the people, the Hindus don't trust this government.
Okay, let him explain why he's smiling. Why are you smiling, Mr. Raju?
No. As far as Dr. Pai's point that he is against the selling of the TTD lands, I am also totally in line with his thought process. And yesterday, in fact, I made an open statement that as a devotee of Lord Balaji, and just to give my background, even my marriage happened at Tirumala, and my dad's My dad and mom got married at Tirumala, and Lord Balaji is our family deity. And in every room of mine, you are not able to see that in this room. It is in the other room, but every room I have Lord Balaji temple, Balaji photo. So we are all such a great devotees of Balaji, and really we are all hurt with the decision. So
but the BJP is saying very clearly it is the Jagan government which is pressuring the board.
No. See, actually what has happened, somewhere in 2016 January, the then government, unfortunately, they have taken a decision to sell some small land parcels, which unnoticedly they went ahead. They had gone ahead with that, and some small parcels were sold at some villages. And at the time, it had not come to the limelight. Otherwise, Mr. Pai also would have objected, and we also would have objected, though I am not in politics at the time. We all would have objected as a devotees of the Lord. But
so you're saying this entire allegation that this government in particular is against temples and Hindus, and there's large-scale conversion, proselytization, etc. That is not a charge that is backed by evidence.
No. Let me come to that. See, that is an allegation. Just because our chief minister belongs to a Christian community, okay, this is an allegation. Even this allegation is there. It is there in the social media. We are all seeing. But see, in our country, as far as the Hindu temples are concerned, almost at every place, they are all coming under the governance of the government. And Christian churches, anybody can build a church and anybody can collect money on the church. And so like any other religions, but for Hindu temples, if someone has built the temple and if it has become popular, as per the rule, the government takes over the temple.
Okay, so basically, Mohandas Pai, here you've got the MP saying, this was first of all, a decision taken by the TDP government, the Chandrababu Naidu government, and now just because they are operationalizing it, Mr. Jagan's religion is being dragged into it.
No.
See, I'm not supporting the sale by this government by citing that earlier government has taken the decision. That is wrong.
So you have the MP actually opposing the sale, and yet YSRCP gets dragged in. Mohandas Pai.
Look, what the MP says is factually correct. The data is very clear. It was taken by the previous government.
Yes.
They actioned it and all that. But all the protest is a result of the protest that has been building up for some time. Because of rampant evangelical conversions, rampant misuse of government power, rampant money coming in, Hindu temples being taken over, and all these things being put. You must please go to that place and check for yourself.
So there is a trend, Mr. Raju, which you cannot deny.
Let me tell you. Today morning, I had a call from my NRI friend who says in Guntur, large-scale conversion is taking place and the government officials are all supporting. Because many of the government officials put in sensitive areas are neo-converts. It's a massive conversion racket and business going on in the state of Andhra Pradesh. So many people, once you do something to a temple, everybody will oppose and stand up and say, we don't trust this government to protect the temple. Yes, there's a board. There's a board, but the board members are appointed by the government and government has the influence.
So you were stealthily trying to move into a temple and its money and its property. It's just that now you're backpedaling because you've been called out and there are protests, of which Mohandas Pai is also a part.
You want me to say on that?
Yes.
See, in between, the line was not that very clear, but I could understand the discussion. See, with regard to the conversions, see, I disagree with the part that the state government is supporting the conversions, but yes, the conversions were happening. And it is not the order of the day after Mr. Jagannath Reddy took over the charge as the CM. It's been there even earlier. But it has been projected now. While I agree to the fact that the conversions are happening in a big way, but our government is not at all involved in the...
Sir, that's a very big concession that you're making. You're saying that in Andhra Pradesh there are large-scale conversions taking place.
I don't think conversions are only happening in Andhra Pradesh. Conversions are happening at many places.
No, so what is your government doing about it?
It is the money power of the Christian missionaries which they are able to pump in from abroad, and they are able to spend that money in building the churches.
Mr. Raju, what you're saying is explosive. You're saying that money is being used by Christian missionaries to carry out large-scale conversions, and what are you doing about it, sir?
No, it is happening throughout the country. What are we supposed to do? It is happening throughout the country.
No, sir. No, sir. Illegal conversions cannot be allowed.
Yes, then what Dr. Pai had said is correct. While it is happening throughout the country. India is a secular country. As per our constitution,
sir, the use of money and any kind of an inducement is illegal. And if you're saying that large-scale money is being brought in by missionaries, this is a crime.
Inducement is through money or through preachings. I'm not getting into that nitty-gritty. But conversions are happening throughout the country. And
where in Andhra Pradesh are they happening?
Where
in Andhra Pradesh are they happening, and what is the action taken by the YSRCP government against it?
See, silently, if some people are going in the nights, if they are going to the colonies, and if they are saying, okay, if you convert to this, something good will happen to you. So like that, they were able to preach, and people are getting hooked to that. It is happening throughout the country.
I mean, frankly, I don't know what to say, Mohandas. I mean, for an MP to say that, this is...
No, don't be too surprised. See, some naked truths, if you are talking, people may get surprised now. Mr. Pai, don't you say that it is only happening in Andhra Pradesh? Is it not happening in other states?
It is happening in parts of the country, but nowhere in the country is happening in a rampant, open manner like Andhra Pradesh. Because the pastors are supporting this government, and you'll be surprised. A family member of the ruling family is a very big pastor. He was a Hindu who converted when he married a daughter of this family. And there have been large-scale allegations, even in the former chief minister over there. This is a continuing racket. And large-scale misuse of money is coming in. When the government is in power, and openly you support the pastors, this is going to be more rampant. MP is very honest. I appreciate his honesty. I like the MP.
No, we are giving 5,000 rupees to
the man, very
pujaris, and 5,000 rupees to the pastors of each and every church.
How many pastors?
As a secular country, we are giving money to Hindu priests and
the priest money.
The masjid.
My limited point is, Mr. Raju, my limited point is, here you have accepted that there is conversion taking place.
Yes.
There are fears that nothing is being done to stop such activity, and then comes a move like this, auctioning of properties of the temple. Would you then not agree that Mohandas Pai is right when he says there is distrust of this government for the same reason?
All these things, which is incorrect. What I mean to say,
he's saying there is a pattern, and it's been happening over the years, which is why there is distrust.
See, you are clubbing the issues. The decision to sell the land.
I'm not clubbing. Mohandas Pai is. I'm just the medium, sir.
Yes, yeah. The decision to sell the Tirupati lands at remote places or wherever it is taken by the previous TDP government in 2016.
So are you saying on record this government will stop the sale of this land?
During TDP regime also it did happen.
Does the Chief Minister want the sale of this land to stop?
I am very sure that by the time we complete the conversation itself, they may stop. Just 10 minutes back, before I had come to this live, I had seen that the decision to sell the land has not yet been taken, is the statement given by the chairman.
Okay, Mohandas Pai.
Chairman, Mr. Reddy, Subba Reddy has given the statement. So I am very confident that without the knowledge of our CM, this would have happened.
So here is a devout follower of the Lord sitting here with you, Mr. Mohandas Pai, who's saying he's personally hurt by this decision. So please don't drag politics and his party into it.
No. Look.
This is not politicized. It's just a bad decision.
If my party is into it, why would I so openly oppose this? And then, if I am opposing this, if my party is against this, well, they would have given me showcase notice by now. It is not correct. It is not the government view. It is not the party view. They are wanting to continue the earlier government decision without the knowledge of our CM.
So you're saying that the BJP is unnecessarily politicizing it? You've got the CPI, CPM, BJP, Janasena, Mr. Raju, all of them have written against it. Are you saying that this is unnecessary politicization? That has got nothing to do with the YSR Congress?
See, there is nothing wrong in BJP taking up the cause. It is good. Because the TTD board has taken the decision, and because of the uproar by BJP or Janasena or the devotees within our party. Now it has gone to the knowledge of our beloved CM, and we are all sure that at least if not by evening, by tomorrow, he will take back, he will stop the decision.
There you have it, Mohandas Pai. Unfairly targeting Jagan Mohan Reddy and his religion.
No. Do you believe people are unfairly targeting? When there's open large-scale conversion, money is flowing in, the Hindus are being abused in that country, YouTubes are being made, and they have, policemen trying to preach, and many other government officials openly supporting, government officials going and preaching, all that is happening.
But he is opposing. Mr. Raju is opposing. He's saying, I am opposing. Jagan Reddy is opposing. Raju, the government is opposing.
Raju, look, this MP is a good man. He's a very honest man, good man. We respect him. But he is not in charge of the state. There's another person who is in charge of the state, and that person's one big relative was the former chief minister tried to give away one of the 7 hills of the TDT of Tirumala. One of the 7 hills was supposed to be given away. There's an uproar earlier. There's a lot of history behind it. And this massive conversion is abusive, is using money, coercion, undue means, all the illegal things are happening. The government is not stopping that, and the MP is pleading helplessness. What do you talk about this government? So there is no trust about this government.
It is not happening in any other states?
No, let's talk about Andhra, please. Look, you are the MP for Andhra. Let us talk about Andhra. Why is money coming in? Why are people openly going on the street with loudspeakers and doing it? Why are people approaching, taking over temples and putting up the cross there? Why are people trying to convert full village? Have you investigated? Have you seen the source of money? How do you know that bad money is not coming? What are you doing?
Okay, so if this decision is rolled back, because Mr. Raju is here saying very sincerely that he hopes by tomorrow it will be put on hold. Will you believe him that this politics was unnecessary and his heart is in the right place? And at worst, it was a decision foisted on them by the Chandrababu Naidu government.
Look, I like this MP because he's honest, he's straight, and he reveres the temple there. I like him, I respect him for it. But that government is supporting the pastors. We don't know what else they will do. And the Hindu community, large parts of the Hindu community in India and overseas, do not trust this government to protect the Hindus and Hindu temples in that place. Because we don't know what else is happening underground, we don't know what is happening. And like the MP says, how can large-scale conversion with a huge amount of money keep happening in a state under the eyes of a government? What is the government doing?
So you need to win back trust, A, by stopping this decision, and B, by coming back and telling the country what you've done about the conversion, which you yourself have admitted to.
No, we will take it up, this issue. No doubt this criticism is been in circulation since several months, and there is a necessity which we all have realized to stop this, to get the criticism stalled by our actions, and I will certainly bring it up to the notice of our CM and our government administration. As he rightly pointed out, yes, I am only one among the 22 MPs. I do agree, and it is, let me honestly confess that yes, I am one among the 22, but I will certainly, as a Hindu, as a devotee of Lord Balaji, no doubt this we will get it stalled, and at the same time, whatever is there in accordance to the law, whatever the government is supposed to do with regard to the spending of money, the forceful conversion which is illegal, yes, he rightly said that, did you investigate? We will, at least the followers of the constitution, whichever is illegal, yes, we will certainly bring this to the knowledge of the government who is at the helm, and to the best of our ability, we will try to curtail it, whichever is illegal.
Okay, this is a very, very important statement coming there from the Member of Parliament.
Yes.
And we will hold you. We will hold you to your word.
Mr. Raju.
We will hold you to your word, Mr. Raju.
To my extent, you can definitely hold me responsible.
Thank you.
And to the best of my ability, again, let me submit it, to the best of my ability, I will fight. And incidentally, let me also say that I am the chairman of subordinate legislation in the parliament, of the Parliamentary Committee on Subordinate Legislation, and whatever act that is there, whether it is the rules and regulations were strictly being adhered to or not, yes, though as an MP I may be helpless, but as a chairman of subordinate legislation, if certain act is not being adhered to, I can call the concerned officer and I can summon them as a witness. And I am promising you, Dr. Pai, that whatever best I can do as a chairman subordinate legislation with regard to the protection of the acts which are prevailing today. Definitely, we will try our best.
All right, so this is the big story right here on the Newshour Agenda, and we will keep you up to speed with what happens, a promise made here on national television by the Member of Parliament. Thank you very much, Mr. Raju and Mohandas Pai, for having joined me on the Newshour Agenda. And in fact, the big news coming in right now, the promise made by the Member of Parliament has in fact been fulfilled, so that decision by the Tirupati Board, which was to auction 50 properties, has been since then put on hold. So there's a massive times now impact. The Jagan government has put the action on hold under fire over the asset sale. Now it seems the Andhra Pradesh government has done a rethink. But remember, it has taken the promise of protests that were to start tomorrow in the state of Andhra Pradesh and the entire campaign by Times Now, which has resulted in this decision, where now the government, and that notice you see on your television screens from the Andhra Pradesh government, that has said that the TTD, which is the Tirumala Devasthanam, must hold consultations first. So it hasn't been scrapped altogether. Be mindful of that. It has just said that consultations must be held first. We'll keep a close eye on what happens there, what happens when the consultations take place, and what follows.